Alright, hello to all my guys, gals, and non-binary pals out there across the electrical ocean. This is Jazzman, and we are back with a game between Moteng playing his, his patented Iron Fist FS Salomon split. This is the same deck I caught him playing last time. I think I might have been the one playing him, actually. I feel like I won that game. It was like a 50-minute grind fest. I was playing FW or something. But yeah, I've always seen him play this deck. It seems quite interesting. It's because IS gets a lot of value from the armory, and you can sort of counter the enemy spell. Like you can forego the spell seal relic, and just rely on sort of the half IS bonus to do some of that work for you. But Salomon Trapper here going to contest. Oh yeah, I didn't even introduce the other opponent, Barnaby, playing full faction Shattered Peaks, the master and overlord of SP himself. And Barnaby is really gonna wreck some face here against these squishy, pathetic little Salomon. These guys don't even go to the gym like Barnaby does. Barnaby is just gonna mow right over these guys, stampede through them like the bull that he is. And I mean, it's not even gonna be a contest. I mean, I could just honestly call the game right here. Barnaby will take the victory. You guys will witness. You will bear witness to Barnaby's greatness in this game. So Salomon Trapper here, I mean, what is Moteng even going to do in this situation? Overcharged Golem is just a menace. He's blocking Trapper from encroaching upon Barnaby's territory here. So he wisely chooses to flee and drop a Hondor Memorial in that font, which, Overcharged Golem is going to have to deal with, I guess. It actually walks over the tar, wasting AP. What a noob mistake by Moteng. He's only at 3 AP now. And Treasure Hunter coming down. Market refunding some of Moteng's equipment and Relic Nora. So I guess Barnaby, I mean, he's got the pulsing globule on him. So I guess once Treasure Hunter moves up to contest that font, he can toss the globule to it. Golem walking into a boulder trap. Golem, of course, is no stranger to boulders, considering he is completely made out of them. So he walks into the trap, not at all fearing its effects. And Storm Reader coming in, so I guess Barnaby is just playing an electric deck here. I think he usually plays Slags, if I'm not mistaken. But I guess he's branching out. He's a master of all things SP, after all. And second Overcharged Golem, so more Sabotage for Moteng's champions. Hitting them before they even have a chance to fight. What a master strategist Barnaby is. He knows exactly what he means to do with his runes. So the Rugal's Fist on the Treasure Hunter, I'd say that's a little premature, although it does stop the globule toss. Yeah, and so the Fist, I mean, he won't be able to do any fisting this turn, but Overcharged Golem can definitely hold off on that. He's not really in the mood for any fisting right now. At least not himself. Maybe the Spark Crone. I mean, she can really get down with the fisting action. But Salomon Appraiser approaching boldly towards mid, and I feel like Moteng could actually contest here. I mean, Barnaby is going to get one hit from the Golem. And one hit from the Chrome, but that's about it. And instead he contests with a failed amplifier. Okay, I mean, this isn't really a relic that I'd want to waste in a mid-font contest, but it is only 25 Nora, so it's fine. Oh yeah, I forgot that he ran this thing last time too. It was in the back. He put it at the back of his shrine, and I completely ignored it because it didn't seem to do anything. Honestly, I like failed amplifier. I think it's one of the better spell seals that you could run. It's probably like third best, now that Wooden Scales is nerfed. I still think Wooden Scales is fine, even at 1. But yeah, and it's fine at 1, but Failed Amplifier, I think you could probably switch. I feel like most players would put Wooden Scales above Failed Amplifier, but Failed Amplifier is just such a hard counter to anything spell-related. But Treasure Hunter, ooh, that massive, oh god, look at that fisting, ooh, on 3 guys at once. Barnaby will not be happy with that. And Salomon Appraiser here going for the attack? Probably not on one of these guys, because Spark Crone, oh yeah, Barnaby doesn't have feedback upgraded. He has the more electric-y upgrades. Spark Curse. I guess he could hit the Golem and maybe go for a kill. But Salomon don't typically run spells, and the Trapper is out of range. I guess you could deploy you could attack with the Appraiser, and then do a what's it called? The water, not the watershed anchor, the wreckage, contaminated wreckage. Give everyone some AP, and then Salmon Trapper can get a hit off on the golem that way, and then that would kill it. So you know, that just maybe would that be worth it though? Like he'd be spending all of his turns Nora just for that kill. He wouldn't. He would get the globe, but then he would lose in return. Probably the treasure hunter would be my target, although the trapper would be easier to kill because of vulnerability. What was that? What was that other equip going down here? We got Source is champion name. Wow, that's I think that's probably one of the best equipments in the game. But it was it was the toss of the globule onto the Merid. So yeah, the Appraiser still has enough AP to hit. What's he going to hit? He's going to do a Burning Steel, so another relic to contest the font. It also deals some. See, this is a good relic because it does contest the font. It also deals some global damage to Barnaby's guys. So maybe making it easier to kill. Another equip, a Bog Pearl this time. And I mean, like that's a lot of Nora. I would have probably preferred to deploy, but it seems like, you know, Moteng can deploy anyway. The nice thing about all these equips is that they're all super fucking cheap. Like the Bog Pearl is 20 Nora, the Burning Steel is 30, like Globule is like 25. So you can really squeeze in a lot of extra deploys and shit when you're, you know, split with FS. And Moteng doesn't even have his armory out yet. That's the thing with armory. That's really the sticking point, is that you actually have to draw it. And if you don't draw into it before you want to start playing your equips, you're probably just going to come out at a net loss in terms of Nora. Barnaby going to swap in the Ritual Crone for a massive charged blast here. He's actually going to kill the treasure hunter, so he's not doing too bad for himself. Probably can clean up the burning... No, he can't clean up the Burning Steel, so he's going to be sitting in his font. Yeah, charged blast does not hit relics. But he can still get a hit and then teleport onto the globe. Okay, well, or he could teleport over into... He teleports into a trap instead. So now the golem... Oh yeah, he already hit. No, he didn't hit. What did he hit? No, he attacked, but he didn't realize he was blinded. Okay, well, I guess he wasn't... Barnaby wasn't expecting the trap. So he does miss the Burning Steel hit. I don't know why he teleported over here. I guess for Aura and... what's it called? Storm Reader proc. But the globule actually pops that Spark Crone to little gooey bits. And the Fascinate from the Bog Pearl almost pulls these guys into the lava too. So that was kind of a little bit of a misposition on Barnaby's part. But he's safe for the moment and is able to capture all of those globes on his following turn. Now here's some... Ooh, I wonder if Barnaby runs Nora Storm. That would be really cool to see if like the Trapper or something gets in the font and then Barnaby uses Nora Storm on it and then deals like 50 damage to the Trapper. I would honestly rescind everything I've ever said about Barnaby if he did that. Like that would just be too much. I might have to turn off the recording just there. Just cut, just end it right there. That'd be absolute perfection. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Trapper is going to run away like a little baby. And Northern Cross Templar is getting the blade. So he's going to be... I mean, he has vulnerability. Now, the thing about these sabotages is that they can be cleansed. So if Moteng has like a cleansing mist or something, he can get rid of that. But Barnaby is probably just going to keep overrunning Moteng with champions now. Because the SP bonus, I mean, you can keep deploying pretty much whenever you want. Like every single turn, you just poop out a couple more champions. SP bonus is OP like that. So there's the lava damage onto the Storm Reader. So he's on the lava, and I mean 2 HP is a little bit spicy. But you know, Barnaby, our old pal Barnaby, is no stranger to spice in his life. And we're not talking about drugs here. Barnaby is absolutely a no drugs kind of guy. So he can probably get one more good Storm Reader proc out of that guy before he dies. Most likely off the aura. Now he could get the kill here on... Oh, but he walks into the rock trap. Oh, what a shame. Now you should have used your overcharged golem to walk into that trap, because, you know, overcharged golem, as I said before, when you're made of rocks, you can't just expect to be taking damage from rocks. That's not the way your logic works, right? That's why Global Rock Eater has immunity rock. Yeah? Makes perfect sense. So Peak's merit. Oh, he has the pulsing globule too. So he's probably going to get popped. Actually, he's already on 16 HP. He's gonna find a target for that globule. Well, nope, too bad. Too late. He's already gone. So he gets popped by that. No, oh man, it would be so nice if Moteng had his armory, because he could have gotten the cooldown reduction on those globules. But the Holy Blade going to come down here for the... Oh yeah, and that cleanses. Okay, so he had the cleanse all along. I just wasn't thinking it through enough. So Northern Cross Templar drops the Blade for some consecrated ground. I am still a little out of it, by the way. I don't know if you guys remembered from my last video. But, I am getting over kind of a nasty cold, so I haven't really been keeping up with the game too much. But I'm not out of it. I'm gone, but never forgotten. I'm definitely going to keep uploading more games. So there's a contaminated wreckage, as I was alluding to earlier, and it looks like that golem is dying to the dot. This one's still pretty healthy. This one could actually contest topside if Moteng isn't careful. So he should probably try and deploy up there, or at least put down a relic. But Barnaby actually managing a double deploy on his last turn. He got the orb plus breaker, and electric decks are actually really strong right now. I probably should have mentioned that. Electric decks are kind of op. I mean, they had ionization nerfed, but I mean, like in my opinion, was that really the thing that was making them broken, or was it just, you know, overefficient champions like Stormflyer? And you know, overcharged Golem too. Like you could probably say overcharged Golem is a little efficient. I mean, it has beefy stats for what's basically a 64-63 Nora champion after the bonus. Like it's efficient, but is it too efficient? Maybe. Like if you run it with the electric boost, what's it called again? Not electric surge, electric charge, I think it's called. Yeah, because I'm remembering flame charge from the Infamiliar. But yeah, if you run it with that, like you can boost electric damage globally. I think that build makes a little bit on the strong side, but the point is, electric decks had a lot more going for them than ionization. And Barnaby does see the opportunity, capitalizing upon that top font that's completely undefended. Moteng had the Nora for a champion, but he didn't actually deploy up there. I don't know why. He put his Templar over here. Like, why would you do that? Barnaby also killing the other Salmon with Echo Chamber here. And just leaving that. This is actually a really good place for an Echo Chamber because it intercepts Moteng's reinforcements coming from the shrine. So this thing here, I mean, that's huge AoE, right? That Moteng has to walk through and potentially have his champions get hit by a second time as they're coming through this choke point. He's got to be careful of that. And yeah, Moteng doesn't seem too concerned about losing top. He's not even... Okay, well, it didn't look like he was moving his champion towards it, but he is moving Trapper up there. And now deploying Investigator. Man, too little too late. You really should have dropped a champion topside, because now Barnaby might actually win this game. I mean, he was looking like it before, but I mean, now it's kind of like you just gave away a font for free and you're just getting out deployed. So, I mean, like Barnaby here, like I'd probably press my advantage like really hard. I just say screw it and go in on this Templar. You might lose your Stormflyer at some point, because Templar is kind of spooky in 1v1s. He dual pummels you for like 30 damage. But I mean, when you're this ahead in Nora, does it really matter if you lose a champion or two? Then yeah, the Ritual Crone can I guess do some backup after it gets enough charges again. And you know, Breaker is an interesting choice. I don't know if I'd consider this. It's sort of like a little, basically, sort of a worse Stormflyer, but I mean, he has slightly better defensive stats. 1-2 range is nice, and then I guess Catalyst Electric, he's basically a little ball of AoE damage. For 75 Nora though, yeah, I don't know. I'd probably favor a Lightning Elemental over deploying him, but still a decent option for an underutilized rune. And then Static Greeting to trigger your Spark Curses. But there's a second Stormflyer and a Bolt Case. Oh yeah, Barnaby just going to run away with this now. See, I called it from the start. Barnaby was going to come out on top and a War Banner, planting his flag on Moteng's turf, just like he should. And Bolt Case manacking into overcharged Golem's aura. He's given him the static boost. And That would be an interesting ability. So here's a thought I was thinking, right? I was looking at Thunder Elemental the other day, and I was like, you know, Sonic Surge is a really cool ability, but why doesn't Lightning Elemental have Lightning Surge? Maybe we could add some parity there, don't you think? Because I feel like Lightning Elemental is just the perfect champion for Lightning Surge. And I know, like, Alakami had suggested earlier to add more electric synergy to Thunder Elemental, but to me that doesn't make sense because Thunder and Lightning aren't the same thing. I think Thunder Elemental needs its own set of changes, but I think in terms of like adding abilities, Lightning Surge is like a good candidate. If possible. And here's what I was talking about earlier, the fucking Northern Cross Templar. You underestimate this guy at your own peril. Like, he's doing 34 damage with the dual pummel. That's before all the dots from like the blade and the contaminated wreckage and shit. So that's a pretty much dead Stormflyer. So these guys are no joke. And the Sonic Burst here, actually knocking the Stormflyer. Now, see, if I were Moteng, I would have definitely Sonic Bursted that Ritual Crone over the lava. Because, I mean, yeah, you're gonna get the Stormflyer eventually, but he's inhibited. You don't need to do any more damage. Like, it can't heal. Better to just leave him to his fate and focus on other things. But he's dropping the armory in the font, so he's going to get a lot more refund from his equipment now. I mean, he's not completely out of it. I mean, he's still but the problem is now, like, Barnaby's going to win back this top font and just block him out with the bolt case. So it's probably just going to be a slow crawl towards the end. And I remember from from my game playing against Moteng, that he does not surrender in most circumstances. Like my game, like I said, my game against him was like 50 minutes long, and I had him beat for, I'd say, the last 10 minutes or so of that game. But down go the relics, and without the relics, Northern Cross Templars do get a lot weaker. So this Stormflyer is dead, but Barnaby does have backup on the way. And I'm not sure whether it was an issue of draws, because ideally you'd want to get Armory down like as soon as physically possible for an equipment deck, because Moteng played a lot of equips before deploying the Armory, when he probably would have been better off deploying champions instead, and then just waiting for your equip strategy to kick in mid-game. But that's sort of an issue with a lot of combo decks. Something that people don't realize is that you don't necessarily want to get your engine rolling. Like, you need to get your engine rolling, right? But you need you need to make sure you wait for the right moment, because otherwise, like, if you jump the gun too early, you risk losing your tempo. And Moteng is learning that the hard way here. He's doing another dual pummel to the Ritual Crone. I mean, that's a lot of damage, but it's not quite enough for a kill. And I mean, Barnaby didn't even move it last turn. I don't know what he was waiting on. He didn't need to take that damage. I guess he's just using it as bait, maybe, for the breaker to get in there. But Templar re-equipping the blade. And then a Memorial coming down for AoE Faithless. This relic is nuts, by the way. Handor Memorial for 25 Nora. I think this, if anything in IS were to get nerfed, I would probably say Memorial should. Just a 5 Nora tap to start would be fine, but I mean, that's a lot of utility built into this one relic. Faithless and AoE, and then the 2 fire damage is basically like a mini Fire Ruby. Well, kind of a Fire Ruby. Everything moving takes 2 damage, and branded, so all of your paladins deal more. And yeah, it's a really powerful effect, just for the Faithless alone, really, because you can completely deny spell presence. Like, Barnaby has no spell presence here. If he didn't have this Storm Reader as backup, he wouldn't be able to use spells at all. But Moteng still managing to pull Nora out of some unspecified nether region, deploying the Magnetic Rover. A lot of his shit is really cheap, to be fair. I mean, Rover 54 Nora, the Investigator is 62 Nora, Templars are decently priced. And this fucking Trapper has been sitting here since turn 1. He's been here since this very start of the game. Still on full HP. Barnaby hasn't done a single thing to it. just does not give a hoot. So down goes one of the Templars to Thunderhead, and was that another, yeah, that was another Blinding Flash. Rather ineffectual, I must say, just because Barnaby didn't even need the Breaker's second attack. So Storm Raider moving in for some Reader on the Northern Cross. The Aura, and he's actually saving his Ritual Crone. What a baller. Barnaby is a very caring, loving individual. He values all of his champions equally. And Solomon Investigator here going to get mangled by that bolt case. So Moteng, I know you really you don't like to surrender, but I mean, I don't see a good way out of this for you, brother. You gotta admit when you're beat, and Barnaby has you beat here. I mean, he is. I think once this Templar dies, he might throw in the towel, but at this point, like, Barnaby has everything. He has all the fonts. He has, you know, the Nora. And Moteng has not much. He has one rover. That's pretty much it. Now, ordinarily, Planar Hold would be a menace on this map, just because of all the lava and terrain you'd have to walk over. But Barnaby has no real flying champions, aside from this one Stormflyer up here that doesn't matter. And Moteng is still deploying relics and equipments after his armory was gone. So Investigator with the Forge Hammer, he's going to get a hit. What is he hitting into? The Stormflyer here. Oh my god, there's lag. Why are you doing this? Game. What is causing this lag? I think it's it's got to be the Globule, right? But that didn't happen last time. Oh no, it's the Forge Hammer Howl effect. Because yeah, that happened whenever the Investigator attacked. But the Investigator actually shattering his own equipment. He's shattering his own Forge Hammer. Does that do anything? What does that do? I guess if you have Armory out, it refunds, or it reduces the cooldown, and he's getting a P from it and a heal? I don't know if that was worth it. I think the defense at that point is worth more than the 5 HP, but I mean, it's tough to say. It's like whether a knight or a bishop is more valuable in chess. It's like you could say like one is like 0.1 or 0.2 more, but they're pretty much about equal. So Northern Cross Templar taking some more damage, and he is Garbanzo Beams. Pop go. I mean, the blade is still around, so Barnaby's gonna have to deal with that. All these relics just clogging up the font. And then I feel like he should block. Okay, well, I feel like he should have blocked the rover out there for a turn, because the rover has aura, but there's no good way to take the relics. Whirling Quarry actually coming down to take that one down. Why does the Ritual Crone still only have one charge? Is that a bug? She's been sitting there on one charge for like the last 3 turns. Is Supercharge not doing anything? Or did he actually do a charged attack this turn? And I just wasn't paying attention. Because I feel like he was on, the Crone was on one charge when she was sitting here fighting the Templar, and now she still only has one. I don't know where the other charge went. But it doesn't matter right now. Barnaby is going to aura that Breaker to death. Or yeah, sorry, Moteng is going to aura Barnaby's Breaker to death. And then, I mean, so I guess it's basically Moteng's banking on his turn 1 deploy, the Trapper, to single-handedly win him this game. So down goes the Burning Steel. Barnaby is going to have to walk through all these relics just to get to Moteng's Shrine. So here's a question for you guys. Could this be considered roping? I don't know. I mean, on the one hand, as an experienced player, it's easy to say, yeah, this game is over. But, I mean, if you're an inexperienced player, or you don't really care about playing, like, super seriously, playing the meta or whatever, like, you could just be playing for the shits and giggles and just want to play till the end regardless. So, this is sort of the issue we've had with Akko, except in Akko's case, it's very clearly malicious roping, because of what he types in chat to go along with it. But like in situations where the game is very clearly advantageous towards one player and the second player keeps playing on, it's bad manners to keep going if you're that second player, but it's still not against any rule. It's just like, yeah, you're kind of being a dick, but you're not doing anything wrong, quote unquote. It's just like you're playing the game towards its natural conclusion. Like, the goal of the game is to kill the enemy shrine, not to force the other player into surrender. So it's like, you know, there's an argument to be made for both sides, I think. Although in Akko's case, it's fairly clear what's going on. So to those of you who are wondering, things are going to be done for him. Just hold on tight for that. So Barnaby doing his best to mop up the remaining Moteng's remaining forces here, and holy shit, I just noticed this. Moteng's got the fucking Illuminati flashbangs. He's got the Triforce, the unholy trinity here of flashbangs. And, okay, so now I know what's going. Oh, well, Barnaby was not to be intimidated by the Illuminati. He is more powerful than any secret society, and he wins. So, well played to both, and we'll see everyone in the next one.